Hello, Ragu. I have got Galatians 5, 16 through 26. But first, I have a little bit of a confession to make. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been slacking on the Bible study in that I would wait all the way until like Thursday or Friday and then do like the entire week's worth in like a day or two. And what that was doing to me is that was making me, rush through them to where I couldn't dwell and think about the word, meditate on it, think how it would apply to my own life, and just really take the time to not just go through it, but to go through it in a way where it would impact my life. And so what I'm going to be trying to do from now on is try to put out a video pretty much every day of the week, just so for that whole day I can think about the one passage and understand what it means to me, and to just really have the Word of God be on my mind at all times. And so I'm going to be changing when I post the videos a little bit. And I know that's just going to be better for my own spiritual walk. And so here we are. Galatians 5. So first, I wanted to ask you what you thought desires of the flesh mean. I'm curious to see what you think that means and how that fits into the passage. So definitely let me know what you think. But the Galatians is definitely saying here that we have two types of desires in us, right? We have the desires of the spirit, and we have the desires of the flesh, and those are in conflict with each other, right? I know in my own life, it often is the case that I know the right thing that I should do, but I still feel like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Like if I argue with someone and just behave very poorly, I know I should probably go apologize to them and be like, hey, I'm sorry, please forgive me. But I also have that part side of me. It's like, oh no, it's fine. You don't need to apologize. They were wrong too. And so we have this conflict inside of us. But we are to walk by the Spirit, being led by the Spirit in this passage. But I did want to define some of these words real quick, because we've got some lesser known English words. These ones are a little bit tricky. So sexual immorality, the Bible defines this as having any kind of sex outside of the context of a man and a woman united in marriage. Any kind of sex between a guy and a girl is wrong, and any kind of sex between a guy and a girl that aren't married is wrong. You also have the word sensuality, and that basically means looking or wanting, desiring physical pleasure more than God, so wanting to feel good, right? And we also have idolatry, which is worshiping something with your time, your energy, your thoughts, instead of God. And then we also have enmity, which is like being hostile or aggressive towards somebody. And there's some other ones in there. If you have questions on any of them, please let me know. But then after all of this, it says, hey, this is what people outside of God have, right? It gives us a contrast, right? It says, verse 22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And these fruits of the Spirit, right, are gifts that God gives us for our own life, right? They're marks of mature, genuine Christians. And so, love, loving other people and God. Joy, remember we talked about that. That is, happiness that's not based on, what's happening, but on God. Peace, even in the middle of struggles or trials, right? Patience, both patiently waiting for God and with other people, being kind and all of these things. And so seek these things in your own life. These are marks of a good Christian. And so, seek these things for your own life. And then I like in verse 25, where it says, if we live by the Spirit, let us also keep in step with the Spirit. And to keep in step with something means to act in the same way, right? And so, because we have new life in God, we are to act in the same way that he did. Remember, Jesus came and lived the perfect life. And so we are to be like tiny models of what he did, right? We are supposed to look at the perfection he lived and go, hey, he lived according to God's will, and I want to do that too, right? So we're supposed to keep in step with him. And then I guess if I had to pick a verse to memorize, just one of the greatest ones is, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. It's just such a beautiful look into what God has in store for us. And I think that's all.